Hey everyone, in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you my thoughts on my first experience with Lisa Eldridge makeup. I know I am so late to this party, but I'm here now, and I've been trying out a few of her products and I have lots of thoughts on them. So if you are interested in what my first experience with Lisa Eldridge makeup was, please do keep on watching. You're probably wondering why it's taken me so long to try Lisa Eldridge makeup. And I don't think there's one specific reason. I've always been interested in her products, but if you've been here before, you will know that if something is really raved about and nobody seems to dislike their products or a specific product, it makes me not want to try it. And I think there was a little bit of that involved in why I've never picked anything up. I really respect her as a makeup artist. I think she's absolutely phenomenal. I've learned so much from her, and I'm pretty sure that anybody watching this has probably learned a thing or two from her as well. So instead of going crazy and buying a ton of products, I just picked up 4 that I've definitely had my eye on over the last while, and I wanted to put them to the test and see how I feel about them before I dive in and buy anything more. So I have her foundation, which is the Seamless Skin Foundation. I picked up one of the Liquid Lurex eyeshadows in the shade Anjelica. I love a good one and done eyeshadow, so I've definitely had my eye on this for a while. I picked up her Kitten Lash Mascara, which is a fairly new release, and this one I had my eye on for the longest, and this is her True Velvet lip colour, and I picked this up in the shade Ribbon. So we are going to be doing a red lipstick look today. None of these are first impressions. I have worn them all. I have tested the foundation. I think as normal we will start with the eyes and then move on to the foundation. So the Liquid Lurex eyeshadow retails for £21 and you get 2.8ml of product. This is a shiny, shimmery, glittery eyeshadow. It creates a glowing and wet look finish. It can be applied with the fingertips or with a brush. It has micro multicolored pearls to capture the light for shimmer and shine. There are various shades to choose from, and she recently brought out her matte version, didn't she? But I obviously went for the shimmer. So I picked this up in the shade Angelica. And Lisa describes it as a silvery taupe, but it also has that warm brown tone to it. So I'm actually going to apply this today as Lisa suggests, and that's with your finger. I prefer to use a little brush, but we'll see how we get on with a finger. So these do set down, but they will give you time to work, and Lisa does say that these are buildable. So we'll just apply just a little bit. She kind of applies a little bit to the eyelid, and then she kind of just blends it out with her finger. And you can feel it start to set down, and you can just blend it up. It's really, really stunning. Really, really gorgeous. So I'm going to add a little bit more just to build it up. I would advise moving a little bit quickly when you apply this, especially if you're building it up, because as I said, you can feel it start to set down. So we'll do the same with the other eye. Because I have deep set eyes, I do like to just take a brush and just buff it into the crease, because my crease is so far back. Sometimes there can be a little bit of a gap there, especially with liquid and cream shadows. So yeah, I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. This is definitely one of my favorites from the items that I bought. So this is Anjelica. I love one and done easy eyeshadows, and this is absolutely perfect, especially for people who want something that's glam, something that's made up, ready to go out on a night out or out to a wedding or a formal occasion, or just to look a little bit more made up than usual. This is absolutely amazing for that, because it gives you such a high impact makeup look with very, very minimal effort. This is a complete one and done. But obviously you can go in with a little bit of a matte shade, maybe in the crease, or just to maybe darken up the lash line, which I think I will do. I think I'll just pop a little bit of eyeshadow onto the lash line, just to deepen it up a little bit, but I don't think I'm going to touch my crease today. So I literally just went into my Natasha Denona I Need a Warm palette and just popped some of that brown just tight onto the lash line. We're moving on to the mascara now, and this is her Kitten Lash Mascara, which retails for £29. That's quite a lot for a mascara, isn't it? Quite a lot for a mascara. It says that this feather-light formula lifts and accentuates eyelashes without adding weight or drag. The curved applicator conforms to the contours of the eye. Its micro bristles ensure fine separation to accentuate each lash for that professional finish. It's really nice and curved, very, very small, the way that I really like my mascara brushes to be. So I've just curled my lashes and I'll go in with one side and we'll have a look at the difference. So that's one coat applied to just this eye, and I think this is a really, really good mascara. As I always say, I think that the sign of a good mascara is one that clings onto your lashes and then you can feel it actually doing something, and this is that mascara. I would describe this as a very, very volumizing mascara. I think it does give you length as well, but the volume is where it's at, and I think because of that, it gives you very soft and fluttery lashes. I don't think it's going to give you anything super dramatic, but it's supposed to fan out the lashes, and I think it does a really decent job at that. Right, let's get it on the other eye. Very feathery, nice looking lashes, lots of volume, which I know a lot of people really look for in a mascara. So as for the performance of the mascara, absolutely no smudging or transfer with this. I did get just, a really minimal amount of flakes during the day, but it wasn't anything substantial. So I think that is one of the better high-end mascaras that I've tried in recent times for sure. And it's absolutely fine to remove as well. I didn't have any issues in that respect. Really good mascara, but not one that you will reach for if you want a lot of drama, just something really soft, natural and pretty. We're moving on now to her foundation. Now this has been out for a good while, and this is the Seamless Skin Foundation. I was torn between this and the skin tint, but I knew that on a day-to-day basis, I would be much more inclined to choose a foundation over a skin tint. That's just my preference. I picked this up in the shade 9. This retails for £44. And for that, you get the normal 30ml of product. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is the actual shape of the bottle. It's very, very unusual, and I wasn't expecting it. So you cannot stand this bottle up because it has a curved edge, and do you know, it's absolutely unique and beautiful, but on a functional, practical level, it's a little bit inconvenient in my opinion. So it has a straight side where you can just pop it down and it won't roll away, because that was my first worry, that it was going to roll away. And it does have a glass bottle, but you have no fear with that because it does have that flat edge and it will stay wherever you leave it. I think just for storage purposes for me, it's a little bit annoying because all of my foundations stand in my drawer, but it's fine. I mean, that really is a very minor detail, but I do wish it was, normal packaging. So this is an intelligently formulated, skin-friendly, long-lasting foundation. It has a customizable medium coverage and it claims to be self-setting, leaving a soft focus finish. The final finish is neither dewy or flat matte, but something soft and skin-like in between. So it is vegan, it's free from alcohol, parabens, talc, fragrance, essential oils, etc. So I'm going to just show you the shade. This is shade 9, which is described as light to medium with neutral olive undertones, which, can I just say, I really, really appreciate her acknowledgement of olive shades. A lot of brands think because you have olive skin that you have really warm skin, but there's people people like me who have really muted warm undertones as an olive. So I really appreciate the fact that there are olive shades in there, and that obviously comes from her background as a makeup artist. There it is blended out next to it. It's going to be my winter shade. All right, so I think it's a little bit light for me at the moment, which is strange because I actually thought it was going to be too dark. I'm going to just pop it on one half for you to have a look at. So that's just one pump there, one small pump. So you can see there, it does, I don't know, it looks a little bit light. So this is buildable coverage. So I have found that I do need far more than one pump, but I do think that the pumps are very, very small. You do find that with some brands, the pump sizes are very small, and I guess that's to give you a little bit more control, you know, rather than going in heavy-handed. And I'm going in with my BK Beauty 101. So let me just get this on one half of my face and then we'll talk about it. And in terms of how I prepped my skin today, I just used my usual Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream. It might look a little bit crazy at the minute because I don't have any concealer on, but I used about 2 pumps there, so I still have some left. So this is one half of the face done. And that's with nothing. The shade is a little bit light for me, so it does wash me out a little bit. I don't know what you think. I don't actually know how it's coming across on camera. In terms of the finish, it very much sets down, and I'm reluctant to use the word powdery, but it does, I guess, verge on a little bit powdery because it is so self-setting. Let me get it on the rest of my face and then we can talk about my wear test and how I found this. So the foundation is on, and let's just take a quick look at the before and the after. Because I don't have much luminosity to my face, I feel like my face looks quite flat in comparison to what it would look like if I used my favourite House Labs foundation or the new Huda Beauty foundation. They give me a little bit of dimension, whereas I think I'm just lacking that with this foundation. Let me just finish off the rest of my makeup, apart from my lips, because we're going to be going in with one of her lipsticks. And then I'm going to show you a little bit of wear test footage for the foundation. So I'll be back in a mo. So all of my other makeup went on just fine over the top of the foundation. But I just want to jump into just a little bit of wear test footage from when I've worn this foundation this week. And I just want to show it you out in the daylight. So here it is one morning after applying. And I think I'd had it on here for about 3 hours. The colour looks a lot better out in the daylight, by the way. I think that when you look closely, it doesn't settle into my fine lines, but I think that it does accentuate some areas. So for example, a little bit of the paw area and a tiny little bit of my smile lines just around my mouth there. And here it is at the end of the day. Now it is sunset. I'm really going to struggle to get end of day daylight footage now because it gets so dark here in Ireland so early. But I will say that this foundation lasted absolutely beautifully during the day. I have absolutely no issues with the wear time or the longevity of the foundation. I think it really performed very, very well. So if we just quickly run through the positives of this foundation. So it's very, very self-setting. I did not need to use any powder on my actual face today. So I would say that it does set down to a very light powdery type finish in my opinion, but it's not heavy and it's not cakey. I think it gives really, really good coverage. I mean, I barely used any on my forehead and it covered the majority of my hyperpigmentation, which is amazing. If you have more oily skin or normal to oily skin, I think you'd really appreciate this foundation. For me personally, it doesn't have the finish that I love. I do like a little bit more dimension to my face. For me personally, the finish is soft matte rather than soft focus. I feel like my skin looks a little bit dull with it on. That's just my personal opinion. I just think it sets down too much for me, but I will try it with other primers and I will make sure that I update on this at some point in the future. Moving on to lips, and the excitement when I opened this. I have never been blown away when I have opened a lipstick before. I opened it in front of my husband and he was just laughing at me because of the gasps when I opened this. So first of all, the packaging, beautiful, classy, elegant, and it has a lovely magnetic bullet, but a soft close. So this is the shade Ribbon. It actually looks like velvet. So this lipstick retails for £27. These are creamy, highly pigmented, velvet matte lipsticks with a slight sheen with up to 10 hours of wear. Ribbon is described as a pillowbox red, but it has a classic neutral blue undertone and it is universally flattering. Right, let's get this on. I'm not using a lip liner because I just want you to see the shade on its own. So there is Velvet Ribbon. So I've had this on for a couple of minutes and I'll show you how much it transfers. So there you go. So although there is some transfer, it's very minimal. I know that you can tell how much I absolutely adore this lipstick. It's comfortable, it's non-drying, it feels very light, and this is an absolutely true velvety matte formulation with the most incredible amount of pigment. Look at the opacity on my lips. I do think Ribbon is a universally flattering red. I knew it would be worth the wait, and it has honestly not disappointed me. It's perfect. And I'll just insert some daylight footage of this look for you now. Just to quickly go through my favourites, obviously the lipstick. I just explained why I think it's absolutely wonderful. But I also absolutely adore the liquid eyeshadow. It does not budge, it doesn't crease, it doesn't smudge, it sets down, and once it sets down, it's there. And I think a shade like this, or just any of the shades really, would be perfect for the holidays, for Christmas. If you want a very quick glam look, if you don't feel confident with powder eyeshadows, if you don't want to reach for a palette, then this will literally give you a high impact, stunning makeup look with literally the most minimal amount of effort. This formula is absolute top tier. I was surprised at how much I liked this mascara. I had zero expectations. The fact that it gives my lashes some volume is an absolute winner for me. The foundation, I am still a little bit on the fence about. I think I need to play around with it. I need to use a few different primers and find a way that I am most comfortable with. At the moment, I feel like my skin looks a little bit flat, but I think that it's early days, so I'm definitely not writing it off. I will continue to use it and I will make sure that I update you at some point in the future. All in all, was it worth the wait? Oh my gosh, absolutely. I'm so glad that I waited to try her products, that I wasn't buying them in a rush to get a review up, that I took my time, I cherry picked what I knew I would be interested in, and I was able to really soak them in and really get to know her products. It really is a whole experience, definitely worth the wait. So a very important question: which Lisa Eldridge products do I need to pick up next? Let me know down in the comments which ones are your favourites. Thank you so much for joining me for this video. I so appreciate you being here with me. I'm really looking forward to seeing you in the next one. But until then, take care and bye for now.